Hello everybody. In a corner of the world often not widely discussed, lies Bosnia and Herzegovina, a small country in southeastern Europe wrapped in green mountain landscapes and cities rich in history. Before the 1990s, Bosnia was part of the multi-ethnic and multi-religious country of Yugoslavia, where various religious groups coexisted. However, the long journey of Islam in Bosnia began much earlier, in the 15th century, when Ottoman soldiers arrived in the region, opening the doors to significant influences from the Islamic world. The Ottoman soldiers, who came with the aim of expanding their empire, not only brought armies but also brought Islam. Over time, the Bosnian people began to embrace this religion. The first mosques were built, and Islamic culture gradually became part of everyday life in Bosnia. The city of Sarajevo, now the capital of Bosnia, stood as a silent witness to the meeting of East and West, where mosques stood proudly beside European-style buildings. However, the great changes that occurred were not limited to mosque construction and lifestyle changes but also to the formation of a new identity for the Bosnian people. Islam became a part of their identity, and over the centuries, the religion intertwined with their culture, becoming an inseparable rhythm of life. Life in Bosnia was not always smooth. In the 1990s, the country plunged into the devastating Bosnian War, which destroyed nearly all social and political structures. A brutal war divided the country along ethnic and religious lines, leaving deep scars in the hearts of the Bosnian people. However, despite the destruction and chaos, the spirit to survive and reunite never faded. By the end of the war in 1995, Bosnia and Herzegovina began to rise again. As the country embarked on a reconciliation process, Islam gained a stronger role in rebuilding the social and moral foundations. Many people felt that Islam was a way to heal old wounds, providing peace in the heart and uniting a divided society. Amid hardship, many Bosnians returned to seeking meaning in their religion, finding peace in Islamic rituals and teachings filled with love. This reconstruction process not only involved physical rebuilding but also spiritual renewal. Damaged mosques began to be rebuilt, and the younger generation, born after the war, began to revive their religious spirit. Amid destruction, Islam became a symbol of hope and a new rebirth. Entering the 21st century, social and cultural changes in Bosnia became more noticeable. Amid technological advances and a globalized world, interest in Islam grew. Thousands of Bosnians began to explore the teachings of their religion more deeply, with many feeling a need to return to their spiritual roots. However, the revival of Islam in Bosnia was not limited to adults or the older generation. The younger generation, growing up in an increasingly modern world, became more interested in delving deeper into Islamic teachings. Many of them were inspired to learn more about the history of Islam, tafsir, fiqh, and even their own personal spiritual journeys. Bosnian society, once known for its pluralism and openness to various influences, now began to show a stronger pride in its Islamic identity. The spirit of reviving the Islamic cultural heritage grew, reflected in various aspects of life, from the construction of grander mosques to the increasing integration of religious education into everyday life. The year 2024 witnessed an extraordinary phenomenon. Bosnia, a country once so diverse, now began to show that Islam was not only the majority religion but also an identity that connected the entire society. However, this is not an easy journey. This process raises many questions and challenges, especially for those who view this change as a threat to the diversity that has long been a hallmark of Bosnia. Will Bosnia continue to grow as a plural and open country? Or will this wave of conversion lead to religious homogenization that impacts the cultural pluralism present? Despite the challenges ahead, Bosnian society is now at a crossroads, striving to find a balance between preserving existing cultural heritage and embracing the strengthening resurgence of religion. With this development, Bosnia now enters a new chapter in its history. A chapter in which Islam is increasingly ingrained in every aspect of life, forming a society that is more united, stronger in faith, and more confident in their future. The year 2024 became an unforgettable moment for many in Bosnia and Herzegovina. A country once known for its ethnic and religious diversity now witnessed an extraordinary phenomenon, thousands of Bosnians from non-Muslim backgrounds embracing Islam. The continuously increasing conversion numbers signaled a social transformation that was unexpected, a new wave in the country's religious history. This process didn't happen overnight, but developed gradually, beginning with the younger generation who were eager to explore the teachings of Islam. teenagers and young adults, seeking a deeper meaning in life, began to delve into Islamic philosophy and teachings. Many felt that this religion offered peace and a clearer understanding of life's purpose, especially in a world filled with confusion. In cities and even in more remote villages, people from various backgrounds began to visit mosques for the first time. They came with curiosity, wanting to learn more about Islam, seeking answers to their questions about life. Many of them eventually chose to embrace Islam after realizing that the teachings of the religion aligned with their spiritual search. Islam, seen not just as a religion but as a way of life, gave them the peace and tranquility they desperately needed. Why did this phenomenon occur so rapidly? Several profound reasons drove thousands of Bosnians to embrace Islam. One of the key motivations was a deeper spiritual search. After years of living in a materialistic world filled with pressures, many felt lost. They were looking for something beyond their daily routines, something that could provide them with inner peace and a clearer sense of life's purpose. Islam, with its teachings emphasizing peace, simplicity, and mutual respect, offered the answers many Bosnians were seeking. Many felt that the fundamental principles of Islam, such as social justice, compassion, and solidarity, resonated with the humanistic values they held dear. Furthermore, Islam's call for high moral standards appealed to many who felt the world was drifting further from those values. Another factor that accelerated conversions was the growing awareness of the importance of religious education. Many Islamic educational institutions and universities were rapidly developing, offering opportunities for Bosnians to study their faith more deeply. With more structured lessons and comprehensive teaching, the younger generation began to realize that embracing Islam wasn't just about following tradition, but also about a deeper search for knowledge and wisdom. With so many Bosnians embracing Islam, there were certainly significant social impacts. The country, which once had strong ethnic and religious diversity, now experienced a process of religious homogenization. Nevertheless, the rise of Islam in Bosnia brought positive effects for national unity and solidarity. Amidst differences in backgrounds and experiences, Islam became a unifying factor that strengthened relationships among people. The mosques being built were transforming into community centers. They were no longer just places of worship but also social hubs where people from various backgrounds gathered to share experiences, discuss life, and explore religious teachings together. This created an increasingly inclusive and profound atmosphere where Islamic identity became more deeply woven into daily life. Religious education also played a significant role in strengthening social bonds. The growing number of Islamic schools became places where children and adults alike could learn about the teachings of Islam, deepen their knowledge, and foster mutual respect. This education was not only limited to religious teachings but also imparted values that could be applied in both social and personal contexts. However, this phenomenon was not without challenges and controversy. Some people were concerned about the changes taking place. They feared that the increasing religious homogeneity would diminish the cultural diversity that had long been a point of pride for Bosnia. Concerns about the loss of religious and cultural pluralism that had existed for centuries began to emerge, especially from those who believed that Bosnia's multi-religious and multi-ethnic identity must be preserved. There were also worries about the social-political impact of these changes, such as potential tensions between more conservative groups and those who had recently converted to Islam. Would Bosnia remain an open and inclusive country, or would this wave of conversion create new divides in a society already torn by a tumultuous past? Nevertheless, many Bosnians viewed this change as a positive step towards a stronger unity. They believed that Islam was a way to heal old wounds and lead the nation toward a better future, one filled with peace and harmony. The year 2024 marked a turning point for Bosnia. The country was increasingly finding its strength in a strong Muslim identity. With more Bosnians embracing Islam, the future of the country looked hopeful. Despite the challenges that lay ahead, many believed that Bosnia would successfully maintain a balance between its growing religious identity and the values of pluralism and freedom that had long been upheld. With support from society and a government increasingly backing the strengthening of Islamic values in everyday life, Bosnia could serve as an example of a country that integrates religion into social and political life without losing the diversity that makes it unique. Bosnia, now filled with grand mosques and rapidly growing Islamic institutions, will continue to be a country that blends its rich past with new hopes for the future, where Islam and noble human values can walk side by side. As thousands of Bosnians embraced Islam, one thing that couldn't be overlooked was the emergence of grand mosques adorning every corner of cities and villages. The mosques were no longer just places of worship but had become symbols of the progress and resurgence of Islam in Bosnia. By 2024, nearly every city and village in Bosnia had a grand mosque, some of which featured impressive architecture, reflecting the cultural richness and spirituality of the Muslim community. These mosques were not only places for prayers but had also become centers for social activities, education, and culture. Every mosque became a gathering point for the Muslim community to share knowledge, hold social meetings, and organize charitable activities and study circles. The presence of these mosques highlighted a significant transformation in the social and religious life of Bosnian society, which was increasingly aligned with Islamic values. In larger cities such as Sarajevo, Zenica, and Mostar, new, modern mosques with elegant designs and complete facilities were being built. Some mosques even included cultural centers, meeting rooms, and educational facilities that made it easier for Muslims to deepen their religious knowledge. Not only in physical terms but also functionally, these mosques became essential places to strengthen social bonds among Muslims. They served as venues where people of all ages gathered to learn, pray together, and support each other in their daily lives. Islam had become not only a religion but also a strong social identity for Bosnian citizens. Amid the surge of interest in Islam, the rapid development of Islamic education in Bosnia was equally significant. After decades of uncertainty due to the war, Bosnia now had a more established and structured Islamic education system. Islamic schools and universities were flourishing, offering the young generation of Bosnia opportunities to study their faith while preparing for careers in the professional world. Islamic schools didn't just teach religious education but also general knowledge, providing students with the tools to thrive in the modern world without abandoning their spiritual roots. Subjects such as Islamic history, fiqh, tafsir, and ethics became integral parts of the curriculum, while other subjects like mathematics, science, and foreign languages were also taught to high standards. This education, which integrated Islamic teachings with worldly knowledge, allowed Bosnia's youth to become individuals who were not only faithful but also intelligent and competent. Not only in primary and secondary levels but also in higher education, Islamic universities were rapidly expanding. These universities became the primary choice for many students wishing to pursue further education. They offered a variety of programs that combined religious studies with secular knowledge, producing graduates who were not only deeply versed in Islam but also professionally skilled in various fields. Some Islamic universities in Bosnia were also establishing connections with top universities worldwide, opening doors for students to gain international experience and broaden their horizons. With education rooted in Islam and the integration of modern knowledge, Bosnia's young generation was ready to face the future with hope and confidence. Religious education in Bosnia wasn't just about teaching religious theory but also about shaping the character and morality of students. In Islamic schools, children were taught to value principles such as simplicity, honesty, and social responsibility. Islamic teachings, which emphasized helping others, maintaining social harmony, and living with good ethics, served as the foundation for building a more just and harmonious society. In addition, religious education played a crucial role in teaching tolerance, both within the Muslim community and in interfaith relations. While Bosnia is now predominantly Muslim, the diversity that once existed is still remembered, and many educational programs teach the importance of maintaining good relations with other religious and ethnic groups. Religious education in Bosnia has now become a foundation for building a society that is more caring for one another. Children educated in the Islamic educational system not only acquire knowledge but also gain profound insights into human values, equipping them to contribute to the creation of a better social environment. While the development of Islamic education in Bosnia has been rapid, there are undeniable challenges to address. One of the main challenges is how to maintain the quality of Islamic education while ensuring it remains relevant in the face of an ever-changing world. In a world that is constantly evolving, Islamic education must adapt to technological advancements and developments in science and knowledge without disregarding deep religious teachings. Islamic education in Bosnia also needs to address the challenge of creating a curriculum that balances religious teachings with general knowledge. There is a need to ensure that students not only understand their faith but also possess skills and knowledge that are applicable in the professional world. Additionally, another challenge is creating an education system that is inclusive and acceptable to all layers of society. In this regard, it is crucial to maintain good relations between Bosnia's Muslim community and other religious and ethnic groups so that Islamic education does not only reinforce religious identity but also enriches the social diversity in the country. Looking at the rapid development of Islamic education in Bosnia, the future appears to be full of hope. With the increasing number of Islamic educational institutions growing and adapting to the needs of the times, Bosnia has the potential to become a leading center for Islamic education in Europe. In the future, scholars, intellectuals, and professionals from Bosnia could become leaders in fields that combine religious and worldly knowledge, making positive contributions to the global Muslim community. Through solid and integrated education, Bosnia can produce a generation that is not only strong in faith but also intelligent in facing global challenges. As a country that has gone through many trials and tribulations, Bosnia now has the opportunity to harness the potential of Islamic education to build a more just, peaceful, and prosperous society in the future.